Alright, so I'm here down at the shop testing out my tubing bender for the first time. Actually making a few bends with it. So I figured I'd show you guys how I put this thing together, kind of how it works. This is the bender. The bender itself came from eBay. It's the same one you can buy on Amazon or AliExpress or whatever, wherever you want to buy it from. It's, from what I understand, it's very, very similar, if not exactly the same as some of the other ones you can buy online that cost a lot more than this one. It's, the clearances are somewhat sloppy, but it's still usable. So if you want a higher quality one, then you probably want to spend the extra money and buy one of the better ones, not one of these cheaper benders like this. They sell kits to put a hydraulic ram on something like this, but they want, you know, $200–300 for this clamp piece right here, and all it is a stamped out piece of steel that you either have to buy one that's not welded and weld it together yourself, or pay them a little extra to have them weld it for you. I made this out of some scrap metal. This is 1 inch thick right here, and then I think this is just some 1/4 inch, just this flat bar. This is a double acting cylinder I use. I got this off Amazon for, I think it was $160, and it's nice having the double acting cylinder, because then you can move the bender in both directions for totally freely, and you don't have to rely on the spring pulling it back or pulling it back manually or whatever else. So when you want to switch the pin to the other holes in your die, you can just bring it back with the hydraulics, pop that pin out, come all the way back and pop it in the next hole. And then also when you're done bending, it's a lot easier to release this. Just quickly release everything and get the pin out of there, get the pipe out of there, and on to the next thing. So I got this hydraulic spool valve here. It's just a single spool valve. So, you know, you got 2 positions that the lever can be in. When you put it this way, the cylinder extends. When you put it this way, the cylinder retracts. It's got a built-in pressure relief valve right here that you can adjust to help mitigate any kind of overpressure situations you might have, where you max out the cylinder or you max out the bender, you pull it back in too far. You don't want it to break itself, so you want to set that to the correct pressure. And what that does is it bypasses the whole system, and it just connects the pressure line to the return line, so your pump just pumps right back into the reservoir instead of overloading the system. This is my pump setup. This is a power steering pump off of a 4.6 Ford modular V8. It's just, you don't have to use this kind of pump if you can't find this one or whatever. I mean, there's hydraulic power units you could buy. They cost a lot more than this did. This was just, I got, I think, $50 in that motor, and then everything else in here was just stuff that was lying around. So it's all scrap metal, and I mean, this thing is all made out of free wood. If you're going to use a power steering pump, you're going to want to take the pressure relief valve out of the pump and either shim it or get rid of it or bypass it somehow, and you want to take any restriction out of the line that you can. You basically just want it to be the pump and the biggest orifice on the outlet as possible, so you get the most flow. Then you can control the flow with your spool valve. And that's the nice thing about the manual spool valve versus using like electric solenoids to control this, is that you can control how much pressure you have by just moving this slightly, whereas if you have the electric solenoids, it's just on off, max pressure on, max pressure, max one way going the other way. You get the idea. It's a lot, you get a lot more control with this, and it's cheaper. And then I got a gas can here as the reservoir. It's just some fittings screwed it. There's actually a washer. I welded that fitting onto the washer, and then it fit right inside the cap there, and used the seal from the gas can. It's working pretty good. This has a little bit of a leak right here because this is the wrong size fitting for this. This is I don't know what the thread size is supposed to be, but it's close to, but it's not the right size. So I got a whole bunch of Teflon tape in there. It's hoping that doesn't pop out of there, make a huge mess. So I'll show you how it works. There you have it.